Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to a Spooktober episode of We Watch Shudder. My name is Michelle, and who's here with me?
It's JD. We're watching
It's
shorts.
JD. It's always JD, and we are watching shorts, which we don't always do.
We're
This
watching
is your
shorts,
first
and I'm
time.
wearing shorts, Michelle. It's still
Me
September.
too.
It's
I'm
still
also wearing
September.
shorts.
The weather's all right, and I'm wearing shorts. Still
Wow.
September as I record this, guys. Obviously, it's October as you're listening. I'm not a crazy person.
Debatable, but probably not related to the September-October thing. We might just
That's
be
fair.
crazy people in an
That's very
unrelated
fair.
circumstance.
I'm sorry. I've already interrupted this whole flow you had going on, Michelle. Why don't you tell people what we're doing here?
For sure. So I'm really excited about what we are doing this week. It is Spooktober, and last year we released a new episode every single day because JD and I like to watch a movie every day. But the idea of watching a movie and recording a episode about that movie every day would have killed us. So we didn't do that.
The worst. The very worst.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, no, that would make me hate Halloween, and please don't do that to me. It's one of the few things I have to live for. So this year we decided to make it easier for people to watch along with us, and we are still releasing a new episode, but we are doing them about shorts.
Horror
we aim
shorts.
to do a
Spooky
half hour
shorts.
or less. So, shorts, and this week's gimmick. I'm so excited about this week's gimmick.
Oh, this is a good one.
It is so good. So we watched 90% of Ari Aster's short films that he made before Hereditary, which was his first full-length movie. And I had seen all of them before. JD had not, and I haven't seen them since Hereditary came out.
Any of them even once.
Yeah.
I had seen none of them. Of course, huge fan of his first two features, Hereditary and Midsommar. I still have yet to see, as of this recording, have yet to see the feature-length Bow, but I will be doing that within, hopefully the next 24 hours. So that we can get
because we got to record it.
Yeah, we got to talk, because when we talk about the short, we're obviously going to talk about the feature as well. But no, I've heard a lot of people talk about these Ari Aster shorts. In fact, you were the first person who mentioned them to me at all back when Hereditary was still big on everybody's minds. And I got
a little obsessed.
Yeah, I just never got around to checking them out, and I'm really glad that we did. There's some real interesting stuff going on here, and I'm real excited to talk about the selections we selected. That's how you put a sentence together, right?
That was
The
definitely a
selections
sentence.
we selected.
It had a noun and a verb, and it followed typical sentence structure. I think it counts.
I give it a B. Anyway, so yeah, we're talking about some Ari Aster shorts. We love. I guess I should say you're a fan of all of his feature work so far, are you not, Michelle?
Yeah, I would definitely say I am. What I like is that all three of them are completely different movies, which are like different styles. They bring in completely different flavors. So he's not just like a horror guy who makes movies like Hereditary all the time. He also makes weird, make you think about stuff movies, and folksy murder in Sweden or wherever movies. So I like that he brings something different, and that's why I really wanted to talk about the shorts, because he does that exact same thing with his shorts, and despite being one man, he has a lot of different flavors to him.
Excellent. And so what's the first short then that we're talking about here on today's episode?
We are talking about Herman's Cure All Tonic from 2008. Now, just a fair warning, usually we would do a spoiler-free section, but these are shorts.
We're just going to talk about it.
We're just going to talk about it.
If you haven't seen it and you want to, go now. There's all the warning.
It's on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, we're just going to tell you the whole thing. But they're short, so I mean, like, even if we spoil it, we've only ruined your life for 10 minutes while you're watching the movie, so it's still worth watching it,
and
I
it's
guess.
on you anyway. So Herman's Herman's Cure All Tonic. Do you want to give us just like a summary thought and a score on this one before we dig into it, Michelle?
Ooh, yeah. Here's what I will say about this one. Like I'd mentioned, I'm a big Ari Aster fan. I had watched all of his stuff following Hereditary because I became very obsessed. I love Hereditary. I did not remember this one at all. I have not seen it since the first time I watched it. And watching it now, it's kind of apparent why I did not remember it. This is definitely my least favorite of his work. And I'm going to go with a 2.25. It's still fine, but it's very not on par with the rest of his catalog.
Oh, you think so? I mean, it's definitely different. This is a very unique Ari Aster here, but there are things about it that I actually really enjoyed, and it's definitely you can tell it's very early that he's just finding his legs underneath him and that sort of thing. But I thought this was enjoyable in a number of ways. I would have gone with a 3.25 on this one.
Okay, and I think 3.25 is still fine. There are some good things about it, but it's just meh for me.
So just go ahead. I realized that I just kind of, without thinking about it, navigated us through a mini spoiler-free section. You want to just tell people about this movie, Michelle? It's been
spiraling.
It's been a year. Jesus, it's been a year. You guys remember back in February when I had a toe cut off my foot? I don't even think about that anymore.
I completely forgot that you had a toe cut off.
What do that's the kind of year.
That sounds like something Ari Aster would make a movie about.
Right, that's the kind of year.
The toe that came back.
Where having a toe removed is not on the top things on your mind when you recap the year. Anyway, Herman's Cure All Tonic. This movie's fucking gross, and that's one of the things I love about it.
Absolutely.
This is Ari Aster body horror in a lot of ways. This is Ari Aster getting a little David Cronenberg on us, but in a very, very gross, disgusting way.
Do you want me to do a story recap really quick for them?
Yeah.
In case they didn't see it?
Jesus, Michelle.
We got talking about your toe, and I know.
Oh, my God. I'm having a rough one. Yes, please take control of my life.
I'm so sorry for making you record on a Monday night.
Oh, it's all right. This is going to be a good time.
Okay, sounds good. So, quick recap. The guy's name is Herman, right? He's the Herman of Cure All Tonic, the main doctor pharmacist guy. Or is Herman his father?
I believe Herman is the family name.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So, Dr. Herman, whether that's last name or his name, maybe he's Herman, kind of like Philip Phillips, if you're familiar with his music. So the doctor is a pharmacist who inherited his business from his father, and he has a Karen customer who is just like, your father would have done this differently, and his dad is very belligerent, and it turns out that he's been milking his father to give it to people, and he gave it to the Karen lady, and now she's nicer, and then he has customers who are like, man, this stuff's great, but he runs out of ways to milk his father. He has milked him all that he can be milked. And then the Karen lady comes in. Now she's angry again, so now she's getting milked. The end.
Yeah, it's a very simple, straightforward story. But that's basically it. I did verify, by the way, Herman is the father, Harold was the son, but that doesn't indicate anywhere that it was a family name. But yeah, Harold has taken over running the pharmacy for his dad, and his dad's a real just an asshole, just a cranky old man. And this lady at the counter is a cranky old lady. One day he accidentally gets this goopy, fucking disgusting ooze seeping out of his dad's navel. Just this white puke vomit, weird fucking pus substance. I don't know what it was. It was delightfully disgusting. It was delightfully disgusting. And then he accidentally, or maybe not so accidentally, gives it to the Karen lady. He tries to stop her from taking it, but she's like, "No, I want it." And then it's just this big run on it's silly. It's very silly, and it's very juvenile, but in not a critical way. You know what I mean? It's this is definitely like a Bart Simpson type film. This is some the gross body horror version of like an Itchy and Scratchy. But I thought it was it had that delightful element of like a small child squishing a bug or playing in the mud. I thought it was a good time. It's definitely very simple, very basic, but I thought it showed a lot of promise for what we were gonna see in the future.
Yeah. So 2 things. First off, I just would like anytime somebody angers me enough that you're getting milk now. And I'm selling your liquids to people for money, and then
Getting
those liquids I milked
your
from
navel of all places.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
God.
the liquids I milk from you will make other people nice to me. That's how it's gonna work. Beware, I will milk you. And then secondly, rewatching all of this stuff and starting with this one.
Will
Will
milk you.
Milk you.
Milk
Oh,
you.
man. I need to stop saying milk.
Yeah,
I need to
ooh.
stop. It's because of rewatch Mutant Mayhem. It's on Paramount now. Okay, so the other thing, rewatching his entire catalog of short films and starting with this one. If you're doing that along with us, oh man, you just got to buckle up. I think part of why I don't love this one is because I'm comparing it to his other work, and it's fine, and it's also older. So then I'm looking at the quality. It's kind of hard to see, which should not be held
sure.
against it. But it does mean that a big selling part of this is not sold to me because I can't see it as clearly as I would like to be able to, and therefore like that grossness is kind of lost, not through anybody's fault except for aging.
Right.
And older.
And it definitely looks like it was shot probably on like Super 8 film. Like it's very high grain film appearance here. And I don't disagree. What I found most interesting about this is it is a different kind of horror film than what we have seen with his features, at least in the first 2. I can't speak for Beau is Afraid here right now today. But what it did do is it made me say, I wonder what Ari Aster could do with like a gross, disgusting body horror movie now. With like some $24 behind him or whatever. I would like to see where the type of stories that he tells kind of dabble into that more Cronenberg-y kind of world. I think that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I do not disagree with you, but I also think that I would like to give Ari Aster any property and see what he does with it.
Well, I mean, you're
any
not
idea,
wrong.
I would watch it.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
other than that, not really a lot to say about Herman's Cure All Tonic. It's a very basic, straightforward thing. It's gross. It's splattery, goofy. It is very simple. But I think when you put Michelle's thoughts or Michelle's score and my score together, I think you get exactly what the right conclusion is, which is nobody's going to be blown away by this, but nobody's going to completely hate it either. It's just it's just a good little run-of-the-mill 12-minute jam.
Exactly. And by 2008 standards, I probably would have lost my mind and been like, oh my God, that was so gross.
Right.
But I was a different person then. I was full of hope and happy for the future. But now I'm like, it's just a guy getting milked by his son. I mean,
Full
we've
of
seen
hope.
that before.
had yet to see a Serbian film at this point.
2008. Yeah, I guess probably. It was around then that I saw it for the first time, though. I think it was like 2009. I got it from Netflix back when Netflix delivered DVDs. Do you remember those days?
The film
remember
wasn't
that?
released until 2010, so what you're saying is
I thought it was
completely
2009.
impossible. Nope.
Well, you don't know my life. You don't know about my time traveling abilities. How do you think I watched so many goddamn movies?
Look, if you did tell me that there was some way that like Uncle Jeff had gotten access to it before anybody else did, I would probably have believed you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a 2010.
I'll just tell people that. Yeah, Jeff has a hookup to a Serbian film.
That's man.
Exactly. That would make it go like,
That,
oh, what about that man?
That's a movie that people say is good. Anyway, we're talking about Ari Aster.
Yeah. And on that note, I think we should end on our thoughts about a Serbian film and
Yeah,
go on
we'll
to
just
the
let
next
that
one.
go. So that's Herman's Cure All Tonic. We've got several more Ari Aster shorts coming up later in the week. For right now, I mean, we're going to be back here in our timeline in like 30 seconds, just starting the next one. But in their world,
behind the
Michelle, In the listener's world,
Yeah.
say goodnight, Michelle.
Good night, Michelle.
Bum, bum, bum. We Watch Shudder is a production of Rat Factory Media, your home for all of today's Rat Factoryist podcasts. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests of We Watch Shudder are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Rat Factory Media. But wait, aren't Rat Factory Media and We Watch Shudder the same people? Shut your cake hole, Charlie. Nobody asked you. We Watch Shudder is available free on all major podcast platforms, and the easiest way to support We Watch Shudder is also free. Just leave a rating and review on your platform of choice. Merge your consciousness with ours on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. We're at We Watch Shudder on all those social media platforms. Or find us the old-fashioned way, on the web at WeWatchShudder.com or by email at mail@WeWatchShudder.com. Heck, you can even leave us a voicemail at 701-566-9510. No, seriously, 701-566-9510. Try it if you dare.